Senator Blackburn, thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to each of you for being here today. We are so grateful for your taking the time and being here to talk with us. I know Senator Tillis talked some on the respect issue, and Senator Klobuchar just brought up the issue of respect. And I think that when you look at some of these issues between communities and police, that's of concern. But then the dramatic decline in trust between police and the district attorneys who choose not to prosecute some of these crimes, cases of illegal possession of firearms, domestic violence, resisting arrest, theft. And they have a tendency to promote these bail reform measures. And Chief Novelez, if I could come to you on this, I know Chicago has had as many as 100 alleged murderers released on mere home monitoring. That is shocking to me. And also in Chicago, I was looking at some of your stats. Police made arrests in only 12% of the criminal incidences in 2021, which is the lowest rate since 2001. And that was when the data was first released. The FOP has written your DA, Kim Foxx, noting a deep mistrust between Chicago police officers and the DA's office, also stating, and I'm quoting, "We no longer believe that your office will treat our members fairly, either in the arrests they make or when they are victims of crime." So, you're a 21-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what are you doing, and why are you not loudly calling for a change in prosecutors who are pushing this decriminalization, decarceration, depolicing efforts and rhetoric?
Well, ma'am, respectfully, we do the best that we can. We work with our Cook County State's attorneys to put the best cases forward, okay, and to achieve the desired result.
All right, and voluntary resignations, that has been an issue with your department. I know it's an issue with large police departments around the country. They have increased by nearly 300%. And we've recently seen the entire police force resign in towns in Colorado, North Carolina, Georgia, Missouri. Fewer police officers mean increased risk for the remaining officers. So what are you and your leadership doing to turn the tide on this tumultuous state that you're seeing in police departments?
Well, one of the things we've done in the Chicago Police Department is we put up a recruitment team, something that we didn't have before, right? We understand that the environment...
What kind of results is that seeing?
So we have seen an increase in the number of officers applying for our positions. For example, we have 400 currently new recruits in the academy.
Let me move on. Mr. Penny, I see you shaking your head, and I know you want to respond to that. So quickly, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Senator. The unfortunate reality is that this whole defund the police, the legitimacy of our officers has led to officers not even wanting to go into the profession. And the bottom line is you have a lot of these DAs that are releasing these criminals back onto the streets. The officers they've already said they're tired of doing this double work over and over again. And let's put this in context. If we want to talk about the real beast in the room. We're talking about an 85% recidivism rate of violent felons that come out of prison. They come out, and within 5 years, they're going right back for similar crimes. So we have to figure out how to close this loophole to stop our...
Okay, so let me interrupt
Absolutely.
you right there. Closing that loophole, this goes to that issue of respect and the tearing down of respect and the ability of law enforcement to do their job, correct?
Absolutely, it does.
Mr. Harrison, I want to come to you. Issue of qualified, let's see, Sheriff, I want to come to you on the issue of qualified immunity, Sheriff Bouchard. Talk to me about this and what are the effects, positive and negative, from this push to strip qualified immunity from our law enforcement officers?
Thank you, Senator. The effect is terrible on the morale. They're already feeling very much unsupported on so many levels. And when you talk about qualified immunity, people will say, well, they shouldn't have immunity from being held accountable. And I answer, I agree. They don't have immunity. They have qualified immunity, meaning if they followed the Constitution, the laws of the state, the policies and procedure of our agency, and it's within clearly established practices, principles, and rights, then they get immunity. So if we have an incident, let's say, where a deputy is pursuing a suspect and he falls through a plate glass window, oftentimes you'll see around the country, they sue the officer for that injury even though they were committing a crime and fleeing from the police. Qualified immunity gets to court and says, no, this wasn't the officer's fault. The officer was doing their job, case is dismissed. Without that, a lot of our officers and deputies are saying, why would I do this job? I'm willing to risk my life, but I'm not willing to risk my family's home and future, even when I do the job according to policy, procedure, law, and the Constitution.
Thank you for the explanation.
Thank you, Senator. Senator